This is how the MedManners Foundation course is built. So, what is the basic build of a human body? The group of cells are going to make up tissues, and the tissues are going to make up organ. So, first we are going to see about the cell, and then we'll take up the four main types of tissues, and then we'll go over system-wise study. So, the chapter 1, what is inside the nucleus of a cell? So this is going to be a perfect basics for your genetics and biochemistry subjects. So this is the electron micrograph of a nucleus. What does the nucleus contains? 2 points. Number 1, nucleic acids. So the nucleus contains nucleic acids, which can be DNA or RNA. And number 2 is the proteins. So the proteins can be of histones or enzymes. The histones are the major proteins which is inside the nucleus. We'll discuss about the role of proteins then. First, let's take up the nucleic acids. So nucleic acids are the polymers of nucleotides. So this is a single nucleotide. So nucleotide consists of a base, a sugar, and a phosphate. The nucleic acids can be DNA or RNA. The base can be of different types in the nucleic acids. Let's talk about that. So the different bases in the nucleic acids. They can be adenine or guanine, and these are called purines. And cytosine, uracil, and thymine, and these are pyrimidines. So purines, pyrimidines. Adenine and guanine are purines, and pyrimidines are cytosine, uracil, and thymine. Let's see a schematic picture of DNA. So here you can see one nucleotide, another one, another nucleotide. This is one strand of DNA. This is another strand of DNA. You can see different bases here. So adenine pairs up with thymine. And remember, adenine always pairs up with thymine. And guanine always pairs up with cytosine. And 3 hydrogen bonds here and 2 hydrogen bonds here. So you can see one strand is complementary to the opposite strand. And also see the 5' end here. And at the opposite strand you can see the 3' end. So the DNA is complementary and also anti-parallel. Let's see another picture. So you can see the structure of a bases here. This is adenine, this is thymine, this is guanine, this is cytosine. So the bases are connected via the hydrogen bonds. The backbone of a DNA is formed by the phosphate and the sugar. Notice the 5' end here and the 3' end here. Let's see another picture. So this is the DNA. This is the backbone of a DNA which is formed by the sugar and phosphate. These are different bases here. So the bases, adenine always pairs with thymine and guanine always pairs with cytosine. Okay. What are the important processes that is going inside the nucleus? 2 important processes. One is replication, the other is the transcription. There is something called the central dogma of molecular biology. So this is how our cells make proteins. So DNA is a blueprint that comes from the father and mother, and from the DNA, RNA is produced via transcription. And from the RNA, the proteins are made. This process is translation. And this is how the genetic information from the DNA is transferred to RNA, and from the RNA proteins are made. Note that some cells will be dividing. And those dividing cells, the DNA, will undergo replication. And the transcription and replication process will be inside the nucleus of a cell, and the RNA to proteins inside the cytoplasm of a cells. This is how the proteins are made in the cells, and the DNA is a blueprint for making those proteins. Next, we are going to talk about the chromatin. What is chromatin? So chromatin is a DNA associated with some proteins. So this is the chromatin. You just imagine the cell is a microscopic structure. The DNA is 2 meters long. Very long, right? That is, the DNA is 100,000 times bigger than the nucleus. So a question that comes to your mind, how the DNA is compactly placed inside the nucleus of a cell. So in each cell the DNA is 2 meters long and the DNA is compactly packed inside the nucleus with the help of histones. Amazing, right? And this is the histone proteins. There are about 5 histones we know of: H1, 2A, 2B, 3 and 4. H, 2A, 2B, 3 and 4. 2A, 2B, 3 and 4. So these 8 histones forms a group. So 8 histones form a group. 2A, 2B, 3 and 4 into 2. So the 8 histones form a group, and in this group the DNA is going to wrap up twice. So the DNA is wrapped up twice on these 8 histone group. This is called a nucleosome. I'm going to show you another picture in a while. And remember, I didn't put the H1 here because H1 is going to play another important role. The H1 is a linker histone protein that stabilizes these nucleosomes. I'll show you another picture in a while. Remember this, the histones contain lysine and arginine. I said histones are proteins. So proteins are nothing but amino acids, am I right? So the histones contain lysine and arginine amino acids. Remember, like histones are layers, lysine and arginine. Okay, we'll move on to the next slide. So this is how the chromatin is arranged. Let me explain you. So this is the histone proteins H, 2A, 2B, 3 and 4 into 2. And this forms a group. So the 8 histones form a group. And what is this? The DNA. In each cell, the DNA is around 2 meters long. So the DNA must be compactly placed inside the nucleus. So the histones are going to help for this process. So this DNA is going to wrap up twice on the histone groups. And what is this called? Nucleosome. So this is one nucleosome, another one, another one. To stabilize these nucleosome, we have H1 linker protein. So the H1 is going to stabilize these nucleosomes. So this is how the chromatin is arranged. Very interesting, right? Okay, so the chromatin can be in active or inactive state. Very important point. You can see some dark areas here and you can see some light areas here. In these dark areas, the DNA is transcriptionally inactive. That is, the DNA cannot be made into RNA. And this region is called heterochromatin. So the transcriptionally inactive regions are heterochromatin, and transcriptionally active regions, so the light areas are transcriptionally active regions, which is called euchromatin. And this dark area is a nucleolus, very rich in RNAs. So we see about the chromatin here, but when the cell is dividing, the chromatin can be seen having a shape like this. So this is one chromosomes. We have 23 pairs of chromosomes like this. So the condensed form of chromatin during cell division are called chromosomes. And the chromosomes, there are 46 chromosomes, 44 autosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. If it is XX, it is female. If it is XY sex chromosomes, it is male. And the functional segments of a chromosome are called genes. Remember, we have 2 meters long DNA and all the parts of DNA are not functioning. This means that we have functional segments as well as non-functional segments. And the functional segments of a DNA are called the genes. So in this chromosome, we have functional segments as well as non-functional segments. Now you know the difference between the chromosome, chromatin, DNA and genes. Remember, in the chromosome we have pair of chromatid. So this is one chromatid, this is another chromatids. Can we see the chromosome in a cell? There is a process which we call it as karyotyping. So the karyotyping is nothing but mapping out of chromosome in a cell. When the cell is actively dividing, we stop the cell divisions and we take the chromosomes out and we arrange like this, and we can see the number of chromosomes and also the abnormalities in it. So the karyotyping is a picture of chromosomes in a cell. This is useful to identify the number of chromosomes or any abnormalities in it. And remember, these are all the homologous chromosomes. And this is, for example, say chromosome 1 from father, and this is chromosome 1 from mother. This is 2 and 2. This is 3 and 3. And this is 13th chromosomes. So they are called the homologous chromosomes because we arrange the chromosomes like this. You completed chapter 1. So what is the take home point? So this is the nucleus of a cell, and you have 2 meters long DNA. And this should be compactly placed inside the nucleus. So we have histones. So 8 histones forming a group, and the DNA is going to wrap up twice on them, which is called the nucleosomes. And H1 is going to stabilize these nucleosomes. So now you know the difference between the chromatin or chromosomes or genes or DNA or chromatids. I hope this session is useful for you. On chapter 2, we are going to see about the cell organelles and their functions. Thank you. See you with more interesting videos.